want to get your thoughts, Doug, on Ben Simmons. He apparently has told the Sixers he ain't coming back. And he's the one little nugget in the NBA offseason that hasn't dropped yet. Will he get traded? Will he not get traded? Stories all over today that he wants out. And the San Antonio Spurs continue to be linked to various trade rumors for Ben Simmons. One, for Spurs fans that think about one playoff series and say they don't want him, I think they're nuts. I mean, you got a guy that can guard all 5 positions and, is going to be a defensive player of the year type of player. But do you see the Spurs having the assets needed that Daryl Morey is asking for a Ben Simmons?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can acquire those assets, 3-way, however you do it. I just don't. They've never been a blockbuster trade sort of team, and I think it's interesting. Pop has such an affinity for foreign players. One of the things that he does so many, and he's obviously a guy who grew up in Australia. But one of the things that most of the foreign players do, in addition to have a high basketball IQ, be tough, and pass the ball, is they can shoot, and he can't shoot. I think San Antonio is the ideal type of place, more so than Sacramento. It's like he needs to. Again, this is probably unfair, but I'll be honest. He bought a $15, $17 million home in Los Angeles. It's a beautiful home. And you can take like an online tour. You know what it doesn't have in it?
A basketball gym?
Yeah. Look, I'm 3 weeks out from my ACL surgery. But if I'm going to spend $15 million, I'm going to have a basketball arena. Right? Especially, right? Like, yeah. Do I want a pool? Yes. Kitchen? Absolutely. Master bedroom? Maybe that his and her closet thing? Sure. Probably Jack and Jill for the kids, although he doesn't have any kids. Like, all of that stuff I like. There's not even a hoop in the house. So
for $15 million, though, that could be a 2-bedroom condo in Newport.
The proclaiming that you want to be traded, everybody knew he wanted to be traded. That was pretty obvious. They want to trade him. When it comes out as I demand to be traded, that's like you're not getting the answer you want. You're showing a lack of patience. They're going to get a bunch back in return. They probably won't get exactly as much as they want. He's still a valued player in the NBA. He can do a lot of things. He's got to overcome not just the lack of shooting, but the lack of confidence in the shooting. And, once you get a reputation that's earned in the NBA, it's hard to escape. He also doesn't have a reputation as being a worker or a guy who will work with, people will tell him no. Works with his brother, works out with his brother. So, let's see where the chips fall, but I think off the beaten path is the place for him. And that, I'm not trying to diminish San Antonio. I'm saying like the Golden State thing. Golden State could work because Golden State thing could work because there's such a great culture of work ethic there, but there's also just a lot of things that divert his attention. And he's a guy who likes to date stars, and God bless him, But you got to what's LeBron James? You got to keep the main thing, and he hasn't been doing that. So I think that like San Antonio with their culture, their coaching staff could be amazing for him. But I don't know how they feel about dealing with Clutch, and I don't know if San Antonio is going to make a blockbuster deal when that's not really in their DNA.
It's not. Doug Gottlieb from Fox Sports Radio with us here on the Blitz. And I want to go back to your comment about work ethic because that was going to be one of my follow-up questions. One of his negative reputation marks, if you will, is lack of work ethic and runs with a pretty big entourage that kind of bows to whatever his needs are. I don't know that Greg Popovich puts up with that. I don't know that he would put up with getting yelled at by Pop. You see what I mean?
Well, what's his first rule of what's Pop's first rule? Get over your, first thing you got to do is get over yourself. It's why I never believed for a second that LeBron James would play for Greg Popovich. It doesn't mean he doesn't have great respect for him, but Pop's first rule is get over yourself. And I can tell you right now, LeBron James is a great player and I think a good teammate. And that guy works really hard, but he is far from over himself. Now you talk about Ben Simmons. Is Ben Simmons over himself? No. That would be hard. But again, sometimes hard is good, right? It's for the best thing for you. When you think your favorite teachers, your favorite coaches, whatever, they're ones that are hard on you. I just don't know if Ben and his people see it the same way.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens with Ben Simmons.